Good evening, Internet. Shroom here, playing Standard tonight, and I'm revisiting my Firebending Burn brew that I played a while back, but making it a little more aggro and leaner. Let's see if we can get some wins with Firebending Burnout. So, Firebending Burnout is a mid-range Boros deck on the aggro side that is built around the Firebending mechanic, which is, if you don't know what it is, let's take a look at Firebending Student, for instance, who is the best Firebending creature. This has Firebending X, where X is equal to this creature's power and prowess. So what Firebending means is when this creature attacks, it generates X red mana, which goes away at the end of combat, where X is its Firebending value. So just if this attacked with nothing else, this would add 1 red mana to your mana pool during combat, which would go away at the end of combat. So we're trying, now the way this is typically used is with Firebending students. You basically load them up, you play them as like a very Glass Candy style deck with a lot of pump spells, and using the extra mana to like load more pump spells onto your guys and like create extra combat steps, etc. We're sort of using the extra mana from Firebending in a more value-y way, where we're using it to pay for burn spells that will kill our opponent's creatures or go to their face, or to use activated abilities, or in some cases to store up that mana, as we'll see. So let's take a look at our Firebenders first. Firebending Student is the best Firebending creature. The pickings are a little slim for good natural Firebenders, I'll be honest, but this is just the best one. It's the reason why this deck is possible, just because this creature is actually very, very good. We also are running the full playset of Fire Nation Cadets, which are 1 mana 1/2s, which have Firebending 2 as long as there's a lesson card in your graveyard. So Firebending 2 is kind of the magic number for us, as we see it's a lot better than Firebending 1, and it has an activated ability of 2, this creature gets +1/+0 until the end of the turn. So it has a built-in use for Firebending mana, which is something we're very interested in. So those are our Firebending, natural Firebenders. We also are running a couple of Firebender Ascensions, which create a 2/2 Firebending 1 soldier token when it enters, who has googly eyes. This enchantment makes it so that when we Firebend, we put a counter on it. Then if it has 4 more counters on it, we double the amount of Firebending that we do, basically. So we're using Firebending to add a bunch of mana to our pool during combat. What are we going to do with that mana? Well, we're going to cast burn spells. We've got quite a few of those. Burst Lightnings. We've got full playsets of Lightning Strikes and Lightning Helixes. Of course, since we're using the Fire Nation Cadets, we are using Lesson Burn as well, including Firebending Lesson and Combustion Technique. And we've got some abandoned attachments just to help us draw some additional cards. Look at additional cards. You know, it's like Tormenting Voice, but it's a lesson which enables Firebending for our cadets. What are we going to do? So, thing we're going to do, number one, we're going to do with the Firebending Magnet is cast burn spells. Thing number 2 we're going to do is activate abilities of our stuff, including Maze Mind Tomes, and including the abilities of the Fire Nation Cadets and our full playset of Burnout Bastronauts as well. This is an addition that was not present in the original version of this brew. I just think that this deck, without this card or something like it, a really good aggressive 1-drop, the deck lacks a bit of punch. This is just an amazing 1-drop that has a good activated ability we can sink our mana into to give it +1/+0 until the end of the turn. It eventually becomes a double striker, and the natural menace on it just makes it one of the best 1-drop red creatures in Standard. And then we're going to use the mana from Firebending as well to use activated abilities like the draw a card ability of our Maze Mind Tome. We've got a full playset of this. This is a really good card for this deck. It triggers prowess when we cast it on the Firebending Student, making our student a 2-power attacker that can attack and then generate 2 mana by Firebending 2, which we can then use to just draw a card off the Maze Mind Tome if we don't have anything better to do, like cast a burn spell, for example. So we're interested in cards like this that have activated abilities that cost mana and that draws cards. In that vein, we have these 2 of Perfected Pastries, which really don't quite fit that bill. I don't think I ever quite arrived at the optimal card for this slot. This is a 1 mana artifact, which you can pay 1 white and sack it to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and draw a card. So the key thing about this is that it replaces itself, whichever mode you use. Adding a +1/+1 counter to a Firebending Student, for instance, is really good, as it increases the amount of Firebending that student will do for the rest of the game. And in both modes of this, the bottom mode is we eat it as a food, gain 3 life, and we draw a card. So in both modes, if we activate it, we're going to get a card, which lets us look at more cards theoretically and get to the spells that we need, especially the burn spells, in a more reliable way. Now, we've also are playing a couple of Bayo, Irritable, Instructor. This is a 2/3 flyer for 3 mana. You don't lose unsped red mana and as steps and phases end. So The mana that we get off our firebending normally goes away at the end of combat. If we have a Bayo on the battlefield, however, it will just stick around for as long as Bayo is on the battlefield. Also, he has text that whenever we cast an indoor sorcery spell, we add a red mana, which is really good for us, obviously. We're going to be doing a lot of that. And when Bayo leaves the battlefield, that means whether it's exiled or bounced or killed, you may pay X. When you do, he deals X damage to target player. So as we accumulate red mana from our firebending sources, we'll just add to this sort of ticking time bomb that will hover over our opponent's head until Bayo finally goes away, and then we'll just do a huge burst of damage to our opponent's face, hopefully close out the game that way. And then just as since we need lessons. We're running a total of 7 in the main board because we really, really want to help out our Fire Nation cadets. I've tried 6, I've tried 8. You know, there's up and downside of both of those numbers or other numbers you could choose. Going with 7, the 7th lesson that we have, in addition to like our burn spells and our abandoned attachments, is this one of Into the Avatar State, which is just a one-up protection spell that happens to be a lesson. So people are going to try to remove our creatures. This just helps us survive a removal spell. So yeah, that goes over the main board. The mana base is 21 lands, which is appropriate for our mana value. We have a little bit of tech in these Fire Nation palaces, which come to play tapped unless we have a basic land, but for 1 in a red, we can tap to have target creature gain Firebending 4 until the end of the turn, which can really help out in casting extra burn spells or just storing up more red mana for an eventual finishing move by Bayo. The sideboard contains 3 Soul Guide Lanterns against graveyards, 1 Ademi of the Silk Shoots, supplements the Into the Avatar State in our main board as a protection. Ademi is good against sweepers, so it's good against like true control decks like Jeskai and Azorius. So we're going hard on the hate here. We've got 3 Voice of Victories against those aforementioned control decks that want to play a lot of counter spells. We've got 3 Torpor Orbs against those super value-y elemental style ETB effects. And of course, when you bring board in the Torpor Orbs, those elementals just become 2 mana 5/5s, 4/5s, and 5/6s. That's why you need to back up the Torpor Orbs with good solid removal that can kill anything. We got a couple of Get Lost and a couple of Exercises to fill that role. Exercise, of course, is also just a great card against artifacts and enchantments. We've got one of Iroh's Demonstration as another lesson in our board that can sweep weenies and deal 4 damage to a creature. So that is Firebending Burnout. We're only 2 colors. The original version was Jeskai. We're Boros now, so no counter spells, but we're a little leaner. I think the Burnout Bastronauts really add an extra element of aggression to this deck that it absolutely needed. The real question for me about this deck still, to this day, is these Fire Nation cadets. Whether the juice is worth the squeeze to pepper our main board and sideboard with these lessons that, of course, the burn lesson spells are good against creatures, but they cannot go to our opponent's face. We're packing less burn that can go to face in this version of the deck than we were in the original version. So the question is still open to me whether these cadets are actually good enough to play, or perhaps in another iteration we would get rid of these and do something different. So we're gonna make the determination tonight. Let's get some matches in the Diamond tier of Standard. If you like off-meta MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Yestin the Crafty will be our first opponent. Some Firebending Burnouts, which is the second version of Firebending Burn. We're going to be on the play, and yeah, we've got a Bastronaut and a Firebending Student plus Bayo. This is a great hand. Begin bashing. Okay, let's just attack with our Bastronauts. Get the speed going. And this is a tap land, unfortunately. Oh no, it comes in untapped because we have a basic land. Phew. Alright. Firebending Student. Sharp-Eyed Rookie. Okay, we draw Lightning Helix. Let's play our Maze Mind Tome. We'll attack. Generate 2 mana. Do we want to draw a card, or do we want to kill this rookie? Probably just want to kill the rookie, right? It means that we're wasting a mana. which is regrettable. You know what? I want to draw a card, because I want to find a white source for this lightning helix next turn. Maybe this is a huge mistake. Well, we bricked on the plane, so... Feral encounter. Okay, being punished for our choice. Oh, I thought that was like a fight spell. Cactuar? Yeah, okay. Okay, we don't draw land number 3, which really sucks. I think we'll abandon attachments. Discard and abandon attachments. Draw not a land. Okay. Pass, I guess? Yeah, we... Whew. Not only did we get totally punished for our choice, our greedy choice during our attack, but we also bricked on land going pretty deep in our library, so... It's not looking good. Swiftfoot boots. Another sharp-eyed rookie. Cactuar goes away. Alright, let's scry. Can we get a white source, please? No, we can't. We really just cannot. We cannot. Okay. Well, our Bashtronaut is about ready to pop off. That is, achieve maximum speed. So, sure, I guess we'll kill one of these rookies. We'll attack. Get our speed up to maximum. Play a Fire Nation Cadet, which does have Firebending now. Certainly will scry. We'll double scry for land number 3. Buster Sword. Gonna just equip it to the sharp-eyed rookie. Okay. Gonna attack. Yeah, I'm gonna block that. I don't want them drawing a card. Scry. Sacred Foundry. Okay. Great. So I think we will shock our Sacred Foundry. Attack with our Bashtronaut. Yeah, I think we're just holding up Lightning Helix. And Burst Lightning. There's the Cactuar. We go to equip Swiftfoot. A little Helix in response. Archdruid's Charm to search for a creature or land. Goldbane Hydra. They get a free card. It's a Cactuar. Which they can give hexproof. They're going to give it to their rookie. Alright. We're going for a scry here. Fire Nation Cadets to the bottom. Okay. Boy, things have gone about as badly for us as they could. They have this Gold Vein Hydra in hand, so we're dead next turn. Right? Like, this doesn't have trample. Pretty sure we're dead. Is there a way out of this? I need to draw, like a lightning strike or a lightning helix is what I need to do. But even then, don't I still just die to this? Probably. Okay, there's a helix. Yeah, now I definitely die to this. Well, let's see. I go up to 11 here. Attack for 4. Yep, that's just big enough. Okay, well, combination of a super risky play plus just a really terrible draw does us in there. So against equipment-y green stuff, I think we want the exercise and the get lost probably. So we can cut like we'll add Iroh's demonstration instead of firebending lesson. I think the 2 mana burn spells aren't that great. The 2 damage burn spells, because they don't kill cactuars. Into the Avastar state, I don't think we need. We have to be careful, like, not to board out too many lessons. So a minimum of 6 need to be retained. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unless we're going to board out Fire Nation Cadets, but I don't think we want to do that. I think we want to remain aggressive. Cut one of these pastries. You know, maybe we don't actually need 2 exercise, just 1. Let's try this. Okay, I mean, this hand looks promising. The first one did too, but we actually have 3 lands here, which is nice. We'll keep. We don't have a way to enable firebending on our cadets yet, though. Alright, there's a lesson. That's good. So let's kill the cactuar. Enable firebending. Now we can attack for 2. See, when the firebending gets enabled on these guys, they're good, but when it doesn't, they really aren't. Okay, so here we can just play Bayo and start racking up the mana. Wildborn Preserver. We'll go ahead and just kill that. I like how there's 2 different red mana symbols side by side. Buster Sword, sure. Lightning Helix is great. Sure, we'll go 1, 2 on this. I can go 3. Nah, let's just do 2. That's fine. Aim for 5. Make sure we have enough mana for Strike plus Helix. Opponent passes. Alright, let's float all of our red mana. Attack. Do some firebending. Okay, we'll go. Can we just kill them here? 3. We'll just hit them for 9. Go for lethal? I didn't need that last bit of mana. Okay, there we go. That's what we're trying to do. Let's just do that again. Okay, and here we've got a Firebending student plus burn and a lesson, so we'll keep this. Plus our colors, importantly. Paw Patch. Yeah, that's good against us. Probably have to kill that first. Alright, let's play a student. Do we want to block the Paw Patch? Nah. Overlord intended. Okay. Sure. Alright, let's Helix. How do we want to do this? Yeah, we just want to kill both their creatures, I think. So we'll just strike the Paw Patch. Attack. Helix the rookie. Get in for 3. Cactuar. Gonna fight my Firebending student. Okay. Play a Firebending student. Take 4. Aganosaurus Rex. We did bring in Get Lost and Exercise. We don't find any. Alright, let's play this lesson. We'll discard Burst Lightning. Iroh's Demonstration. Okay. Well, we can't attack, because we'll generate 2 mana. That's enough to cast, not enough to kill this dinosaur, so I guess we'll just play our Cadet. Pass. We need to find Get Lost or an Exercise. I think we have 2 Get Lost and 1 Exercise. Take an 8. Cactuar's back. Plus another Cactuar. Demolition Field my Foundry. Okay. Well, we didn't find it. So, what are we gonna do here? So we're dead to this dinosaur. Okay, I kind of didn't anticipate they would go this big. Is there any way we can get through here? No, not really. These things all have trample. Like, we can get an attack past this, but we don't survive their attack, so that's GG. Yep. So, this deck, you can, like, it's definitely possible to go bigger than this deck. We've got 4 sideboard slots that are devoted to getting through attacks against mid-range. We didn't board them all in here. We also didn't draw any of them, so you gotta draw them for them to be useful. Fewa will be our next opponent with some Firebending Burnout. Will be on the play. And this hand looks fine. We can keep it. Just lead on our... I don't want to play this until I have the Firebending student on the board. So we'll just pass. White Lotus Hideout, so they're like an ally deck? Okay. Play a student. Nowhere to run. Okay. Alright. Play another student. Gene Pollinator. Okay, Burnout Bashtronaut. So we certainly want to kill this. Let's go Firebender Ascension. Get our power up to 2. Make our googly eye token. Attack. Burn your dude. Get in for 3. Fear of isolation, bouncing back, nowhere to run. Alright, let's play a pastry. Crack our pastry. Draw a card, a land, please? Maybe? No? Lightning Strike's good, though. Lightning Strike the Fear. Get in for 6. Oh, it scoops. Okay. Sweet. So, that kind of deck. We want our Torpor Orbs. Now, the Pixie style deck, I'm not as worried about the remnants of their battlefield as I am like an elemental deck. So do I even want anything else is a question. Like, normally if I was boarding in those Torpor Orbs, I would also be boarding in Get Lost and or Exercise. I don't think I need to in this case. I do like Iroh's Demonstration. Hexproof doesn't help us against Nowhere to Run. We got boarded in Iroh, so I think we can cut Firebending Lesson. Let's cut 1 Pastry. I think we want to remain aggro, so I'm going to cut a Bayo here. Let's try this. Five land Student Helix. Opponent kept 7. Can we keep this? Yeah, we can keep this. Drawing a 1-drop creature would be great. Alright. Well, I don't imagine that the student is long for this world. Northern Air Temple. Oh, shrines? Nowhere to run, unsurprisingly. Did we draw a Torpor Orb? No. Gene Pollinator. Okay. Bastronaut's good. Let's play our Bastronaut. Kill the Pollinator. Another Pollinator. Okay. Do we have any lessons in our yard? Not yet. Yeah, Mies Mine Tome. Let's kill this Pollinator. Attack. Increase our speed. Nowhere to run. Yep. Down goes the Bastronaut. Well, I will do some scrying. Kyosha Island. Okay. Shrines. So they get to ramp out lands and they get to drain us. Scry. Lightning Strike. We want a creature, really, or a lesson. Do we want to scry again? Not really. We'll just draw naturally. Alright. Fire Nation Cadet. Go. No lesson in the yard. Momentum Breaker. Yep. One only has one card in hand. Fear of Isolation. The Momentum Breaker again. Alright. Burn you for 2. Draw a card. Draw land. Firebending Student, that's good. Go. Shared Roots, sure. They're ramping. Draw. Fire Nation Palace. Okay, Iroh's Demonstration. That's a good one. We have Fire Nation Palace. I guess there's no reason not to do this. So we'll Firebend 6 here. Get our last draw. Draw land. Waste 4 mana. That Mies Mine Tome didn't do a whole lot of good for us. Opponent has been able to like chew through our board pretty substantially. Attack for 1. Firebend 1. There's speed up. Play another student. Go. torpor orb. Okay. Alright, our speeds are at maximum, so our Bastronauts will be good if we ever draw a non-land cards. They have a boss sensei. Okay. Can we draw a non-land card, please? Like another Maze Mind Tome would be great. Earthbend all their lands. There's a Bashtronaut. That's pretty good if eventually we can make like an attack. Lightning Strike. Okay. Let's Lightning Strike one of these lands. Now let's Earthbend a bunch. Let's attack. Get a bunch of mana. Now our Bashtronaut has double strike. So like they kind of have to block it or they might just die. They're double blocking one of the students, okay? No removal, no removal. That's a lethal attack if they have nothing. Okay, they can gain a little bit of life off their momentum breaker. Sure. Kill one of their lands. They go to 1. Another temple. Yeah, drains. But just the firebending plus the Bashtronaut is going to be lethal unless they have a way that they're actually... Yeah. Now here they have to block the Bashtronaut or they're dead. And I think this means that they're dead. This draw of ours here. Sure, another torpor orb. Firebend. If they don't block the Bashtronaut, they just die. They have to double block it, they lose both their lands. And they go to 1. Okay, we got there. Opponent flooded out. I mean, we did too, but eventually we were able to bend our way through that. GG's. Becky 8192 will be our next opponent with some Firebending Burnout. Let's be on the play. With no creatures, but we do have card draw. We can keep. We'll lead on tapped red source. Oh, Bashtronaut. Okay. Play Bashtronaut. Urban Retreat. High Noon. Okay. Well, let's abandon attachments. We'll discard this mountain and draw 2. Play land. Attack. Get our speed up. Overlord. Combustion Technique. Alright, let's play our Bashtronaut. We'll just hit for 1. Get our speed up. Play a Cadet, which does have Firebending now. Pinnacle Star Cage. Okay. Nothing we can do about that. Let's Tormenting Voice again. There are all creatures. Firebending Student. Summon Fenrir. Okay. Helix the Fenrir. Alright, let's Maze Mine Tome. Attack. Draw a card. Feature for 2. Okay. Nothing? Helix you? Kill the Overlord? Mirror form. Each non-land permanent you control becomes a copy of target non-R permanents. So they make a bunch... What? They make a couple of Overlords. They don't have the High Noon anymore, though. Okay. They land. Play Cadets. Pass. Pinnacle Star Cage. Okay. Bottom. Blue Overlord. Helix. Play a pastry. Sack it to draw a card. Land. Okay. More overlords. Just all the overlords. Okay. Helix you. Sure. Pinnacle Star Cage, pretty good against us. Alright. Exercise, get lost. Anything else? I don't think we really have anything else. Torpor Orbs? Does Torpor Orb stop the impending? Okay, so yeah, Torpor Orb actually does work against impending. So we'll add those as well and just shave 7 cards, trying to remain aggro and keep lessons. 2, 3. So we're down to 6 lessons. I guess we'll cut a Fire Nation Cadet since we're doing that. Maybe we'll try to keep our Bayos. Cut around it. Keep our students, maybe? Yeah, Burst Lightning, I don't think are the best. Let's try this. Okay, nice aggro draw here, so we'll keep. Of course, like a Pinnacle Star Cage could be very bad. We don't have an answer for that, but I don't think we can mulligan looking for one of our 2 exercises. Just gotta try to go fast. Boiling Dragonstorm. Okay. Alright, let's Maze Mine Tome. Play our land. Let's attack. Use our mana to bolt our opponent, actually. We need to kill them quickly. Pinnacle Star Cage. Can we draw an exercise, please? Torpor Orb. I guess we'll keep a Torpor Orb. Let's go Torpor Orb. Overlord doesn't do anything. Oh, it still does its thing when it impends. Okay. That was misinformation. Authority, well, they aren't gonna gain life. Alright, exercise. Thank you. Get rid of the Star Cage. Day of Judgment, okay. We'll go for Scry. We want like a creature. Alright, play landing, pass. Yuna. Alright, well, they're gonna get back their white overlord here, so there's nothing we can do about it. Doesn't get its tokens. That's good. Kill the overlord. Kill Yuna. It's a lot of clues. Green Overlord. Scry. Lightning Helix. Can we just burn him out? Let's play another Maze Mine Tome. Pass. Okay, they're just gonna copy the Overlord. Yeah, I mean, we can't do anything about that. They're gonna make all of these, everything they have into an Overlord of the Hauntwoods. So, pretty sure that's game. I don't know, maybe not. Well, bolt your face. Good game, opponent says. Right, because they just get to attack right now, of course. Alright. Mr. Tinkertrain the Mighty will be our next opponent with Firebending Burnout. We cannot keep this one lander. This hand is fine. We can keep this. It's not great. We'll bottom this multiversal passage. Alright. Just play a tap land. That's like the Dungeon Master's Guide, third edition cover. Rolling Dragon Storm. Cavernous Souls on Elf, Rolling Dragon Storm. Okay. Well, let's pass. Winter Night Stories in their yard. So there's some kind of value-y deck. Demon Wall. I think we'll just kill that. We don't want them having demons. Play a tap land. Pass. Iron Shield Elf. Winter Night Stories. Okay. They discarded 2 lands. Whatever they're doing, it's not fair. Okay, let's play a Fire Nation Cadets. Pass. Alright. Hit your dude. Thinking. Thank you for letting us know, opponents. They discard a formidable speaker. Kona. Gonna cheat out nothing. Okay. Okay. Let's play a pastry. Let's just attack. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. Firebend 2. Make 2 mana. We'll use that mana to bolt Kona. Attack. Play a Bashtronaut. And we'll Helix the elf, I think. I think we'll Helix the elf. Bitter Triumph on the Fire Nation Cadet, okay. Would you like to discard your last card? No. Okay. Firebending Student, that's a good draw. So let's eat our pastry. Get a counter, draw a card. Swing for 2, up our speed. Play a student. Meringue River Regents. It's gonna bounce our dudes, okay. And the Dragon Storm. Draw land. Alright, Astronaut. Students. Land, go. Dragon Storm returns. Another Dragon Storm. Okay. Demon Wall. They do attack with the regions. Okay. Good draw here. Maze Mine Tome, that's great. Sure, let's attack. Draw with our tome. With our firebending mana. Let's kill the demon wall. Shooting for 4. Up our speed. Another Meringue River region. We just draw some lightning bolts. Okay. Bastronauts. Students. Land. Go. Formidable speakers, Kona. Yeah, this is Torpor Orb territory for sure. Opponent just swinging with both dragons. Apparently unfazed. Unafraid to go without blockers. Gonna bounce off the Bashtronaut. Okay. Enter the avatar state. Enter the avatar state. Let's draw a card. Something good, please. Land. Okay, that means that we die, I think. Yep, we die. We really needed to draw something there. Okay, so that kind of stuff. Are they a Cavero deck, I guess, is one question. They gotta be using their graveyard, right? Because they have the elves. So we want the lanterns, we want the torpor orbs. We want Get Lost. We want Exercise. So we'll cut 10 non-sideboard cards, including probably most or all of the 2-point burn spells. We want to keep our big burn spells. I think we're going down on lessons slightly, so we'll cut 1 cadet. Yeah, we just don't have room for both Bayos. Something like this. Okay, Zero Lander. Well, we have to mull that. Well, we got a Bashtronaut, which is good. Yeah, I mean, we got the sideboard cards. We're gonna keep this. Freaking Sunbillow Verge. This land, I guess it's the plains? The Sunbillow Verge will not generate red mana on turn 1. Only the Inspiring Vantage will. So I guess the plains goes to the bottom. Because I really want all these cards. This Verge, I don't think you can play four of this Verge in a deck like this. Okay, attack. Never. Roiling Dragonstorm. Alright, let's just Helix our opponent. Just pump our dude. Play this land on red, I guess. More Roiling Dragonstorms. Okay, Torpor Orb. is good. Attack. Torpor Orb. Plus Soul Guide Lantern. So the dragons would no longer bounce our stuff, nor would they bounce the Dragon Storm. Their formidable speakers won't do anything. Just gonna draw cards. Another Soul Guide Lantern. Let's draw a card. Lightning Strike. Well, we're at max speed, so let's get in for 4. Trail, yep. Monument. Play a land, play a lantern. Pass. I want to save this for a dragon. Like, okay, now they have a way to activate monuments, so I guess I'll destroy it. Yep, I should have just destroyed it right away. That's what you get when you let them have a monument. Okay, I think we'll exile the graveyard so they can't recurse their stories. We draw land. Alright. Get rid of the monument. Which we should have done last turn. But they get another round of value out of it. Okay, it's gone. Can we draw 3 lightning bolts, please? We got 1 in hand. Kona. Alright, we actually have to kill Kona. Opponent shocks. Demonic Council. Land. Sweet. Soulstone Sanctuary. Well, it doesn't have much left. That's good, I guess. Formidable speakers, 2-4. Take 6. Alright, can we get a good sequence of draws here? No. The Firebending student would be good if we had, like, spells to cast, but we have nothing. So we have to block... We have to block 2 creatures. Oh, man. Yep. Lightning strike. Alright, so we're dead. Man. It was close, that game. First game wasn't close, but too much value. Nicholas Flamel will be our final opponent. Some Firebending Burnout. See if we can finish off with a win here. We've got a losing record so far. Okay, one drop into curve drop, into 2 drop is good. We're on the draw, but we'll keep this. Go Bashtronaut. Oh, it's lessons. Okay, I think this is going to be very painful for us. Definitely game 1. Storm Chasers, okay. Yeah, plus burn spell. See, the thing is, you can never ever keep small creatures alive against this deck. Okay. Ascension. Play a white source. Sure, we'll just shock and get down a pastry. Monument. Alright, they've already got Monument plus Artist Talent. They haven't leveled this up yet. Oh yeah, they don't need to. It does it on the base. So, we're gonna die fast. Can we make them die faster, I guess? That's the only question. Play another Ascension. Crack the pastry here. Get a counter draw. Trigger. Helix to the face. Okay, they have double Monument. Gonna boomerang their artist, their Storm Chaser's talent, yeah. Make a treasure, replay the Storm Chaser's talent. Draw extra cards, do damage to us. we make another otter. No, we'll take 4. Firebending lesson. Alright. Let's kill that otter. Play our students. Attack. So we actually really have to kill this otter, because we're gonna take 6 off their monument triggers. So if that otter's there, the likelihood of us dying is just way too high. Yep. Yeah, they can actually just kill us on their turn with the monuments, because they can draw and discard. Okay, well, it's a bad matchup, and they got the nut draw too, so it's not like we don't get super better after sideboarding. We can bring in exercise, plus I think we want a couple of Soul Guide lanterns. Do we want Get Lost? Yeah, I think we also want Get Lost. And I think Voice of Victory is not bad here. Also a Demi, I could see an argument for a lot of this stuff. Okay, and yeah, I think we do want to actually board in all this, and we'll just shave the non-sideboard cards in our usual sort of haphazard way. Firebending lesson, I think, is probably the worst of our lessons in this matchup. We want to keep our Bastronauts, I guess, although they just die. Maybe they can get in some damage before they die. Yeah, you know, most of our lessons are like creature-centric burn spells, which they have some creatures, but they're not the most important cards in their deck. So I think we're actually cutting some cadets. Yeah, now that I think about it, and since we're cutting cadets, I like Firebending lesson better than the 2-mana lesson burn spells. So we're working with 4 lessons now with 2 cadets, 5 lessons with 2 cadets. Yeah, 4 lessons with 2 cadets. Let's try this. Like, this card has a good curve of creatures. It interacts, like, very poorly with what they're doing, though. Man, can you mull this, though? The critical cards that hate them out would be Exercise and maybe Get Lost, so there's a total of, like, 4 hits that are really, really good. Do you mull this perfectly functional hand of cards for a chance with 4 cards in your library that are good? I think we just keep this and hope for the best. We do have some card draw, so maybe that will help us find the better cards. Maybe we'll get to do a point of damage or 2. Nope. Kill your thing, kill your thing, kill your thing, kill your thing. Alright. Let's abandon attachments. I'll discard a pastry. Monument. Tome. Alright, there's the combo. Artist Talent Monument. Enter the avatar state. That's not going to help. Let's draw a land. See if we can, card. See if we can find a land. Number 4. It's just when they get this going so early in the game, it's so hard to beat them. Especially if you have no answer like we don't. They had this going by like turn 4 or 5. Turn 4? double monument. They also, like, they just can't, they can no longer whiff, really. Between the extra cards they draw off the monuments and the filtering, there's just, like, no possible way that they don't find it. Okay, we draw a land. Can we get like a creature or something? Voice of Victory? Sure. Try Voice of Victory. There's no possible way they don't already have a removal. If they, for some reason they don't. Okay, of course they do. Yeah, we can just scoop. We're not beating double monuments with artist talent starting like turn 4. They didn't have double monument on turn 4. That was like turn 5 or 6. All right, our final record with Firebending Burnouts was pretty much a burnout. We were 1-4 in the 5 matches, which is disappointing. So we're sort of in that space where we're like too slow to be a true aggro deck, but too small to like compete against the mid-range decks as well. And that's not a good place to be, because that means that you're losing like in both directions. I think we have determined the Fire Nation Cadets are not, in fact, I just don't think they're worth it. They're just too bad if you don't enable them with the lessons. And the lessons really aren't what we want to be doing with this deck. We want to be using our firebending mana to cast burn spells that can target our opponents, and these cards just can't do that. Yeah, a problem is that we ran out of cards a lot too. Like this deck has an infinite appetite for cards. You know, since it's like generating mana and we're trying to take advantage of all that free mana, we want to be drawing cards, and you know, we're down to 21 lands, which isn't a huge number, but we're just not looking at enough cards. And I think the obvious conclusion to draw from that is we should be playing blue. I know. Like a prowess deck that's playing blue. Wow. Yeah, I think this is just not the right build. I like the first build better. I don't know. I still think there's some potential there in like using firebending to basically cast burn spells, but this is not the right mix. Too bad. I would like to make another brew around Bayo and firebending creatures, but I think that looks very different than this brew. So were I to go back to this firebending well, I think it would be something involving Bayo storing up oodles and oodles of mana and just going big with burn spells. That, I think, sounds pretty appealing. But this build of firebending burnouts kind of burnt out. I think if you're going to go aggro, probably the best thing to do with firebending is just load up on the pump spells for the firebending student and just do the thing that people do, you know, play like your wild rides or whatever into your great train heists, and just catch your opponents one turn with their pants down, generate 15 mana, get like 2 attack steps, and just win the game on the spot. That's kind of like what this creature seems designed to do, and probably the best way to use it in an aggro strategy. Because as it is, yeah, we're in that not so sweet spot, which is not where we want to be. unfortunate. We did have some fun moments where we really went off and got to like sling a bunch of spells and kill our opponents early, but we just can't do that consistently enough, and we just don't line up well against the overwhelming value of standard. Like, if you're an aggro deck, you need to be able to kill your opponent before like turn 5 or 6, really, in this format. Because like, take a look at the like mirror form and opponent that we had or whatever. You know, the second game against them, basically they like, you know, cast themselves. We attacked with our creatures, whatever, interacted a little bit. Pretty normal game of Magic. They resolve their spell on turn 6 and the game's over. So if you're an aggro deck, like, that's what control decks will do. They only need like one critical spell late in the game to completely undo everything you've done. So you have to be able to kill them before that. And this deck just can't do it consistently enough. Anyway, I'm a little disappointed by Firebending Burnout, but it does feel good to play Magic and stream, which I haven't done in a few days because I've been under the weather, but feeling better now, ready to get right back to the grind. But we'll shine off Firebending Burn for now and look for another brew involving Bayo and the Burners. But I'm going to call it for tonight. Hope you enjoyed watching me play some Firebending Burnouts. If you did and you like off-meta MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I stream MTG on my Twitch channel every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. There's a link to the Twitch in the description if you want to come check out the action in real time. So I hope you all have a good beginning to your week, and I'll catch you on Tuesday. Peace out.